In the mountains of Dagestan, where discipline is carved into the cold air and warriors are forged long before they ever step into a cage, a young fighter began a journey that the world never saw coming. No bright lights, no trash talk, no fame. Just work, discipline, and a mindset sharper than any blade. Islam Makhachev didn't grow up dreaming to be a star. He grew up learning how to survive, how to dominate, and how to carry a legacy built by giants like Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov, the mastermind behind Dagestan's deadliest fighters. From humble beginnings to the UFC rankings to becoming the lightweight king, Islam's rise wasn't loud, it wasn't flashy, it was inevitable. And now, at UFC 322, he stands on the edge of history, chasing greatness once again as he moves to welterweight to become a two-division champion. This is the story of a fighter who doesn't need chaos to be dangerous, a man whose silence is louder than his opponent's roars, and whose mindset might make him one of the greatest of all time. Welcome to the journey of Islam Makhachev, the making of a modern warrior. Islam Makhachev's story doesn't start in a gym. It starts in the rugged mountains of Dagestan, where discipline is part of everyday life and where combat sports are woven into the culture like a second language. From a young age, Islam trained in combat sambo, the national sport that shaped generations of warriors. This is where he learned how to control a fight, how to impose his will, and how to stay calm even when everything around him feels like chaos. But what made Islam different wasn't just talent, it was mindset. While other kids dreamed of being famous, Islam dreamed of being unbeatable. He trained like a soldier, listened like a student, and carried himself like a man who knew where he was going long before the world noticed him. And in Dagestan, there was one figure who stood above all others, Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov, the legendary coach who built champions from scratch. Islam grew under his guidance, shoulder to shoulder with his lifelong friend and future UFC icon, Khabib Nurmagomedov. Inside that small, humble gym, there were no excuses, no shortcuts, just sweat, grit, and the dream of becoming world-class. And little by little, fight by fight, Islam Makhachev began to turn that dream into reality. Before becoming a UFC superstar, Islam dominated the world of combat sambo, becoming a sambo world champion, proving he wasn't just another fighter from Dagestan. He was the next big problem waiting to happen. When he entered the UFC, most fans didn't know his name, but fighters knew, coaches knew, and Khabib, he knew exactly what was coming. Islam brought the same suffocating pressure, the same grappling mastery, and the same relentless discipline that made Dagestan famous. But he added something extra, an ability to stay calm under fire, almost emotionless, as if he were solving a puzzle rather than fighting a man trying to knock his head off. He wasn't flashy, he wasn't loud, and he wasn't chasing the spotlight. But victory after victory, it became clear. Islam Makhachev wasn't just another lightweight. He was a future champion in the making. When Khabib Nurmagomedov retired undefeated, the MMA world asked one question: who will carry the Dagestani legacy now? But inside Khabib's team, they already knew the answer. It was Islam. For years, they trained side by side, drilling the same positions, pushing each other past their limits, and sharpening a style built on pressure, control, and mental dominance. Khabib didn't just train with Islam, he guided him, he mentored him, and eventually, he coached him. When Khabib stepped away from the octagon, he stepped into Islam's corner, promising Abdulmanap's legacy would continue.
From that moment, the mission was clear. Islam Makhachev would become UFC champion. And the climb began. By 2022, Islam was unstoppable. Win after win, finish after finish, he walked through contenders like a machine engineered for dominance. Then came the fight that changed everything. Islam Makhachev versus Charles Oliveira, UFC 280. The most dangerous finisher in UFC history versus the silent assassin from Dagestan. Many doubted him. Many thought Oliveira's submissions would be too much. But Islam didn't just win, he controlled every second. A clean knockdown, a flawless transition, and a tight arm triangle choke that crowned him the UFC Lightweight Champion of the world. That night, Khabib lifted him on his shoulders. The torch had officially been passed. As champion, Islam didn't choose the easy fights. He chose the hardest ones. He faced Alexander Volkanovski, the P for P #1. Volkanovski again when the fight fell apart last minute. Top contenders chasing his crown, and constant pressure to prove the Dagestani dynasty wasn't a fluke. He beat Volkanovski twice, the second time with a head kick so perfect it looked like it was programmed. And the message was clear. Islam wasn't holding the belt, he was owning the division. At UFC 322, Islam takes the biggest risk of his career, moving up to 170 pounds to chase double champion status. A new weight class, bigger fighters, stronger wrestlers, harder strikers. But Islam sees opportunity where others see danger. His mindset? Simple. If you want greatness, you can't stay comfortable. UFC 322 isn't just a fight. It's a chance to become the next lightweight, welterweight double champ. A chance to cement his legacy. A chance to prove that Dagestan doesn't create athletes. Dagestan creates dynasties. And now as Islam Makhachev stands on the edge of UFC 322, one thing is clear. This is more than a fight. This is a legacy in motion. From the mountains of Dagestan to the bright lights of the octagon, Islam has proven that greatness isn't given. It's earned through discipline, sacrifice, and a mindset forged in pressure. Win or lose, double champ or not, Islam fights with the weight of a nation, the teachings of a father, and the guidance of a brotherhood behind him. So get ready, because at UFC 322, the next chapter of a dynasty will be written, and the world will witness whether the king of 155 becomes the ruler of two divisions. This is the story of Islam Makhachev.